What does this do? What's up, everybody, and happy spooky season. We're still in the month of October, so hope you have some big plans for Halloween. My family and I, we just went apple picking recently and bought some pumpkins, so we got the house all decorated and having a good time. Try to keep up with our good friend Jennifer Carpus-Romaine, who is a Halloween addict, as well as some of the people here on the Beta Consulting Group team, as you can see by our intro, which has some great music to it now. So we appreciate Morgan for putting that together. All right, it is time for our show today. So glad that you are here. We got a great show, kind of a unique show today. This is an internal only show, which we'll talk about later on. Before we get to that, though, just a couple of reminders. Make sure you follow us on social media out there. We're on basically every platform. My personal is Trey Griggs 24, and our corporate is Beta Consulting Group. So make sure that you check us out on those as well. And if you are a freight broker, an agent, or thinking about becoming an agent, and you're done with the back office and all this, the admin stuff that goes on to that, make sure you check out our friends over at SPI Logistics. They've got the systems, technology, back office support to help you succeed. Check them out at success.spi3pl.com. Again, appreciate their support in what they're doing. Got a couple of things coming up. We got some events. We got this week. We have TIA Technovations in San Diego. That's tomorrow through Friday. It's going to be a great show. In early November, we've got Women in Trucking down in Dallas. That's November 5 through 8. I'll be there the 6th and the 7th. Going to have a great time at that show. It's a phenomenal show. If you've never been there before, about 2,000 people there, about 75% women in the industry doing some amazing work, and we're there to support them. And then finally, in December the 16th, we've got the Wreaths Across America event. Our team's going to be at the Jefferson Barracks here in St. Louis. Very excited about that. That's going to be a lot of fun. If you're not familiar with Wreaths Across America, check them out at wreathsacrossamerica.org and get involved today. You can either make a donation for a wreath that's going to be placed onto a stonehead of a military veteran, or you can actually volunteer and serve by placing those wreaths at a local cemetery near you. Again, wreathsacrossamerica.org. Check them out. A lot of good things going on with them in that regard. Okay, it is time to bring on our guest on the show. I'm very excited about this guest because not only has he become a dear friend of mine over the years, but he is also now a member of the Beta Consulting Group team. So please welcome the VP of Operations, Coleman Ruffin, to the show.
Are you working? What kind of work do you do?
What's up, brother?
Good to be here. Good to be here. This season is one of the best seasons. Funny now that we've got two members that are on the exact opposite side, where Morgan and I are all about that, and then we've got two that aren't so much.
That's right, man. I'm so excited to welcome you to the team as a full-time member of what we're doing here at Beta Consulting Group. It's something. This is actually something I have dreamed about for about a year, and you may not even know that. I know that we talked about this a while back, but it was about a year ago that I'm like, man, there's no way I can do this. I can scale this company without a true right hand next to me, kind of help me out. Somebody who knows the industry, who's been around for a while, who has a different skill set than me. And that is clearly you, my friend. Like, you're a process, structure, organization guy. People who know me know that is not me at all. So, man, I'm absolutely thrilled to have you on the team, man.
Yeah, I mean, thrilled to be on the team as well and excited to be here. And I think that from every entrepreneur's journey, I think that that's always a pivotal moment in things where it's somebody that can help complement some of the skills that they've got. So hopefully I can come through with that. That's for sure.
So far, so good. I had somebody just the other day say, how'd you get connected with Coleman? How'd you guys meet? And I was thinking back, And I don't remember exactly how we got connected, but it was through word on the street. And you might remember a
Oh
little
yeah,
more about that. It's like LinkedIn
100%.
connection and
Yeah, it
jump
was
on the
through
show.
LinkedIn and it was
Yeah.
during COVID. And I remember that I actually was trying to recruit you for a position that I was working on. I was like, Trey,
What?
yeah, you need to come to this role that I'm working on. You'd be perfect for it given your background. You're like, hey, I'm good, but you should come to this networking thing that we're starting to do on Fridays called Word on the Street. And I'm like, okay, perfect deal. And then it kind of just snowballed from
I guess I must have been as passionate as I remember being. Like this is what I'm doing. Like I'm not even going to look at an opportunity. That's it. I don't even remember you telling me about a position.
Oh, I don't even think that you gave me the chance to. I think you're like, "Oh, no, I'm good, but come on to this thing." And then again,
Yeah.
it kinda just
What
happened
was the
from there.
position? Now I'm curious. What was it?
Could not tell you. It had to have been some sort of, leadership sales position, just given that your kind of background from there, but apparently I didn't do my
Interesting.
job well enough to get you intrigued.
Well, I was pretty firm about that. In fact, I've said this, Coleman, many times. There's not a job or a salary or a title out there that could pull me away from what we're doing here. I love this so
Yeah.
much. I love figuring these problems out. I love helping customers with the stuff that we're doing now. So, I mean, I don't know that too many recruiters have come knocking on the door. I've had a couple, but I'm like, no, there's nothing. And I'm good, man. I'm good. I don't.
Yeah, 100%
Love
in
it.
building something that is a passion and that's obviously very necessary in the industry. I mean, not only from what you and I have both seen, our team have seen about the niche that we're filling, but we've also had other people tell us like there's nobody really doing this, and a lot of companies need help clarifying their message and getting their brand out there. So I'm excited to be aboard and see what we can do.
I know it's exciting. Yeah. So we started with Word on the Street back in the day. That was probably what 20, like late 2020 ish.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's
probably
hardly
right around there.
2 years that we've known each other,
Yep.
and, I think after 2 years, and I was thinking through, like, who's somebody who I wanna work with, who I get along with well, who's a good person, who has a skill set that's different than me, and man, you were top of the list. So I remember, dude, I'm not this is so funny we're talking about this. When I came to you and said, "Hey, would you ever have interest in doing something with me at Beta Consulting Group?" Dude, I was convinced there was no way. I was convinced you're like, "No," and you were like, I'm pretty happy where I'm at, but if I ever want to do something with somebody, it'd be with you. And I was so honored, man. It was like such a nice thing to do and a nice thing to say. And here we are.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
exciting.
I was going to say that's more of a testament to you as opposed to me trying to give you a compliment, right? I think that you've done a pretty good job of branding yourself and making sure that people are aware of the type of leader and friend for that matter that you are. So that's more of a testament to you than me just trying to give you any kudos there.
All right, so let's talk about what we're doing here because this is fun. You've been with us for a while. You did some part-time stuff helping me out, just some project stuff, which I appreciated that. But we're in month two of you being full-time. And honestly, like when I think about you, the term the glue guy really does come to mind. Like somebody who really holds everything together, and you're already fulfilling that. What's the story behind that nickname that you've kind of given yourself?
Yeah, it's actually funny, and I put that up on LinkedIn, and I actually got a couple messages saying, "Wow, this fits you very well." And I don't know necessarily specifically where it came from, but that's also just been something that people have told me ever since I really started my career. Right? Like I think that there is not only from a business standpoint areas that I can add value, but from a culture standpoint, that's probably one of the bigger things that I can do is I like to think. I'm not trying to pump my own tires here, but bring people together. And I think that's a very necessary thing within any organization, right? You can have successful teams, but if there's not a sense of cohesiveness, kind of what are you doing? You're going in different directions and it doesn't help so much. So I'm not going to lie. I was a little bit nervous when I put it up on LinkedIn. I'm like, I hope people don't think that I'm just over here eating glue or something like that. One of those kids growing up, but I'm glad that the message at least went through.
Yeah, no, there's something to be said about that. And when you have a team, you need somebody who kind of keeps everything on the tracks. I remember when I played basketball as a point guard, that was my job, was to keep everything on the tracks, to keep the offense running, to keep everybody communicating on defense and those types of things. So I think it's a fitting title for you. I'm super excited that you're with us as the glue guy over here, keeping us
I
together.
hope.
The other thing that's
We can talk with our other team members to make sure that they're validating that. And again, I'm not just giving myself a self-proclaimed title, but yeah, knock
we'll
on wood that
verify that.
I will.
Yeah, but the other thing too is that you bring a skill set that I really can't bring. I mean, I could probably really work hard and become more organized and more process oriented, but one, it would take longer. It wouldn't be as good, and it's not life giving for me. that just drains energy for me. Whereas for you, that gets you excited to get processes and structure optimized. And our team needed that. We did a reach assessment I guess it was about 8 or 9 months ago. And what we got out of that was that some of our team members are very process and structure oriented. And that's why they were struggling, because I was not able to give it to them. I wasn't giving it to them. And so now you have the ability to give our team what they need. I feel like we now have a phenomenal team with you, with Morgan, with Natalia coming in as podcast director and doing a great job, and some other consultant pieces that we have on the side. I'm excited about this team and the goals that we're trying to achieve as a small team, figuring this thing out. So again, couldn't be more happy that you're here. Love it, man.
I think we've got a good complement of people in terms of strengths and skill sets that everybody's working together again for that collective goal. And I know that how my mind works frustrates the heck out of my wife. And I'm sure she can hear me right now. She's like, yep, but I am definitely the analyze and process type of person where any scenario that we are in, I am in, I'm like, okay, take a step back, look at all the different angles, and then what is the best path forward, as opposed to just go sometimes. And again, I think that that's another good reason why our strengths complement each other so well is, hey, you are in the nicest way possible, right? You are an ideas guy. And how do we continue and push forward and move forward and get more creative as an organization?
What do you mean in the nicest way possible? Is that a bad thing? Is that
some people might think it is a bad thing. Like, oh no, I just act on things. And that's, again, I personally love that. I am just not that person. I'm the exact opposite. But again, I think that's why it works so well.
Yeah, I mean, I think of ideas all the time, and they should not all be acted on. We know that, but I tend to act on all of them. So having you as kind of a filter, as a little kind of a regulator, a governor on some of those ideas has been really helpful for me, and to prioritize them as well and say, yeah, that's a good idea, but let's just write it down for now. We don't have to do anything today. Let's move it to the side for a while. So that's been good for me as well, to have somebody in my corner who understands me, who lets me be me, which I think is really important. You let me be me. You're not trying to change me, but within that, you're able to work and organize things, which I think is really valuable. So it's been huge.
Yeah.
Been good.
And vice versa too. Because I'm also, before we move on, I'm also the opposite in the sense of I might just be analyzing something for a year and you're like, okay, now we need to start actually moving on it. Right. So again, I think it just goes a little bit back and forth where I can slow you down a little bit. You can speed me up a little bit and we can have that happy medium.
It's fun to see something that you read about, like in the past. Like I read Good to Great years ago. And one of the analogies on that Jim Collins talks about is getting the right people on the bus, the wrong people off the bus, and then getting people in the right seats on the bus. And it's been really exciting to see that play out. I feel like we have the right people on the bus, and now we're making sure everybody's in the right seat on the bus. And then we'll see what other seats we need to add later on. But when you see that, and when you put people in those positions, they do work that is so much better than what you could ever have guessed or imagined or done yourself. Some of the things that Morgan has come up with on the social media side, communication side, and the idea side, and Natalia with the podcast and some of the things we're doing with that, and yourself as well. I feel like people are in the right seats where they can really thrive. And that is exciting as a leader, to see people enjoying their work, having fun, making good work, making some good things happen, and making our customers happy. So there's a lot of good things happening right now.
Really so I read that book back when I was at C.H. Robinson, and I didn't understand it at the time because I was in such a large organization. And again, everybody was kind of siloed into your own little area, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? You have to have that at a company that size. But it really started to click not only in my previous role, but especially in this role too, right? You have so much larger effect in saying, okay, this is how we can make sure that people are utilizing their strengths and are an effective cog in the wheel. So it's funny that you bring that book up because I read it again back right when I was out of college. I'm like, this is dumb. I don't have any belief in this. And then you start to actually see it happen, especially in some of these smaller organizations.
Yeah, you definitely see it in small organizations. You see it when it's there, and when it's not there, it's magnified either way.
Yep.
Which is so true. All right, so we got to transition to some fun facts about you, my friend. I did not know this. You once almost got arrested in Germany. Please tell the story. What?
Oh man, dude. So how long is this podcast again?
As long as we want it to be.
Yeah, this was right after high school, and this was one of my favorite trips where me and two of my good friends did a little Euro trip. We were out backpacking through Europe for about 3 weeks. And we, for one of the stops, we actually stopped in Amsterdam. Phenomenal city. If you haven't been, I highly recommend it. But we had heard some not so nice things about Amsterdam in terms of a little bit rougher around the edges, and some people had a bad experience there. We were going through France and heading to Amsterdam next. And again, me being a kid fresh out of high school, we stopped at this place at a little trinket store, and I saw some brass knuckles there. And I'm like, oh, these are kind of cool. I've always kind of wanted one of these. Not that I would ever use them, but then I thought, okay, heading into Amsterdam, little safety blanket if anything ever happened. So bought some of those, and again, more or less forgot about them for the rest of the trip. Amsterdam was perfectly safe, by the way. It was nothing to worry about. Those brass knuckles were left in my checked bag. We were flying out of Germany 3 weeks at the end of this trip, and we were waiting for our plane, and I hear over the loudspeaker, Coleman Ruffin, please report to the check-in counter. And I'm like, I've never heard my name called at an airport ever. I didn't know if I was getting bumped to first class, getting kicked off the flight, whatever it is.
But now you're in Germany. You're in a foreign country.
In Germany. Yeah, and I walk up, and there, sure enough, is two police standing there waiting for me. And I'm like, oh man, what is going on? So they walk me to a remote spot in the airport, right?
This is
and
like
they start
to born type stuff right here.
Literally. And I was like, I didn't do anything. What is going on? They sit me down. One of them starts yelling at me in German. And again, I'm just a kid out of high school, and I'm looking there like, I don't know what you're saying to me.
Did you speak German at all? Did you know any?
No, literally
Okay.
none. Absolutely none. Thank goodness the other cop did speak a little bit of English. And again, one was yelling at me. The guy was translating in English. I'm just an ignorant kid out of high school. Found out that apparently brass knuckles are a forbidden item within Germany. So they were going back and forth with me, and I'm like, listen, take them. You can take my whole suitcase. I don't care. I just want to get home at this point. And long story short, the guy that was translating for me said, hey, this is an offense that you can go to jail for. What we need to do is we need to take your statement. We need to send this to a judge, and you could be summoned to come back to court in Germany. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, if I get home and get summoned back to court, there is no chance I'm ever going back. Just like, let me get on this plane, head back. And again, sure enough, they took a statement, and they realized I was just an ignorant kid straight out of high school. But that was an offense that I could have ended up theoretically in jail for in Germany.
So technically, we can say you broke the law in Germany. Like you
can 100% say I broke the law.
You are a potential German felon, is what we're saying.
Exactly. And I had no idea, right? Like it was just one of those things where I feel like I was following the stereotypical American traveler, where I'm just ignorant to local laws and all of that stuff. But it was nothing malicious, wasn't anything too crazy. It was just a funny story now at this point.
Love it. That is a good story. That is, and the fact that it's international, it does have a little Jason Bourne quality to it. So, kudos to you. Did you have to, whip out your passport and that kind of stuff? I mean, could have been a good story. Could have been.
I wish I was as cool as Jason Bourne, though. I wish it came with the extra stuff.
If the story had gone that you took them both down and just walked out of the room and got on your flight, that would have been Jason Bourne style. Right? That would.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not that cool though.
Yeah. Also, this is surprising me as well, because I know you're a bit of an adrenaline junkie. You've never broken a bone?
I've never broken a bone. That I know of, right? Now, there's been multiple times where I've gotten into accidents and, split my head open and stuff, but there has never been a time that I've actually broken a bone. And another, again, fun story about that. One of the first times I was actually out in Michigan meeting my wife's family, I was longboarding down a road. We were heading out to dinner, and her little brother just picked up longboarding. So I was like, hey, let's go ahead and hit this hill really quick. Longboarding, slipped, hit my head, and I was bleeding pretty bad. I ended up having to get staples, but I still made it to that dinner. So Jesse literally drove me to the hospital. They stapled me up, wrapped me up, and then I still made it to a family dinner where I was meeting a whole bunch of people. But again, I've never
gotten to a family dinner to meet people with gauze around your head. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, you should have seen how I walked in. It was almost like everybody at the restaurant just stopped and started.
There have to be pictures of this. There's got to be some.
There's got to be pictures somewhere. None that I am aware of.
I'm reaching out to Jessie. I have her number. I'm reaching out to her. We are getting these pictures. They are going public. I'm just saying that's
but yeah, I mean, with all the stuff that I've done, I mean, snowboarding, longboarding, like anything that I can think of, I've been very fortunate to not have any broken bones as of yet. Knock on wood again, that doesn't happen.
That's impressive. Hopefully we didn't just do the broadcaster's jinx there. Because I've broken quite a few bones, and I'm not nearly as much of an adrenaline junkie as you are. I mean, I'm a little bit, but not nearly as much. I broke my ankle, my arm. I broke my finger multiple times. It's not straight anymore. You can kind of see that one finger is not straight compared to the other one. Yeah, so I've had a couple of situations of broken bones.
Hopefully, doing something fun at least.
No, so I broke my ankle in an open gym in middle school right before basketball season started.
Oh,
So practice was about to start. I broke my ankle. It was at the end of October. So I had to watch every practice in November, and I just could not wait to get that cast off. And this was terrible looking back on it. I literally played basketball the day after I got my cast off, which you're supposed to give it time to, strengthen back up a little
yep.
bit. But I'm like, no, I just said, tape this thing up. I'm playing. And I got out there and played, and it hurt like crazy for a while doing that. Pretty stupid, but I wanted to play so bad. So
You're
I
a
did
kid.
that. And then,
It's all right.
and then my, I think I was in ninth, what was it? Ninth grade. I can't remember. Oh, eighth grade this summer. So this was just like 6 months later. So this all happened within 6 months. So in April or May of the next year, I'm playing baseball and I'm playing with some older kids. And this kid that pitched for Rockhurst High School in Kansas City was throwing really fast, and he threw a fastball behind me. But your reaction is to kind of like block yourself. Like I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
just to put your hand. So I went to kind of block it, and it hit my wrist and broke my wrist because the ball was flying.
Jeez.
And so I was out for another 4 weeks for the beginning of baseball season that year. So those are the two main ones. And then the other one is playing football. Catch the football a few times and you jam your finger. Sometimes one time
Oh,
it
yeah.
went this way, and then another time it broke. And so just basically jamming it, playing sport. Nothing exciting. Nothing stories.
Well, at
Not
least
good stories
it wasn't you just like walking down some stairs and slipped and broke your ankle.
That's true. I guess it could be
Nothing
worse.
against anybody that's ever done that, but at least it was doing
Those
something
stories
else.
are a little more embarrassing. Let's just be
Yeah.
honest. Those stories are not as exciting to tell. I was walking to the car and I tripped on a
Yeah.
crack, and yeah,
Like,
not
oh,
good.
great.
Not
Hit
good.
some ice or something. No,
Yeah,
thanks.
exactly. Not good. Not good. All right. So, what was the? Well, okay. So I want to dig in because we haven't talked about this too much. So you knew that I wanted you on the team. What was the driving factor that led you to go? Yeah, let's do this. I want to be on the team.
Yeah, and I think that there was a couple of different reasons. One was internal at my previous role, and but also just seeing the value again, kind of going back to what we were saying that you have been adding to the space. This team has been adding to the space, and the necessity for it. Right, I think between helping companies clarify their message, building their brand, customer testimonials, I think that it's something that I have seen other companies need. But even when I was, in a seller seat, I think that that's stuff that would help me a lot too. So I think it was being able to be a part of something that I feel like is adding a lot of value to the space, and being able to truly help build it.
Yeah, and I love that you say that, because a lot of what we're doing is to help salespeople. Because I'm a former sales guy, and I remember being at places where we didn't have a clear message, and people didn't really know what we did, and we didn't have a clear message across the team. We didn't have customers that were helping us tell our story and creating social proof by talking about their experience with us. We just missed a lot of that. And when you're in sales, man, you get these different deliverables, these different things. It just makes your job a lot easier. You don't have to tell people what you do; they already know. And if they already have a sense that this is a good product because your customers are talking about it, man, from a sales perspective, it just makes your job so much easier. It speeds up that sales cycle. And so a lot of what we're doing is to help companies in ways that I wish I would have been helped when I was in the same seat. So I feel the same.
It helps separate them from the noise, right? I mean, I think every single one of us has gotten hundreds of emails of hey, let's hop on a call and do this, or let's do that. But I think that if you look at it from a perspective as a buyer, right? I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been on Amazon or whatever it is and looked at reviews of products or watched reviews of products from people unboxing them and giving their honest opinion about it. And again, I think that is something that helps especially in this space where there are so many different types of companies out there, to help them really stand out.
And let's be honest, you also wanted to, nice job. You also wanted to be around, another golfer. I know that's a big part.
Oh yeah.
Just to be on a team with more golfers. That's
exactly.
a draw.
Yeah.
I get
Golfing
it.
is my life now. It's one of those things, and I've seen videos about it, and it's 100% true. Once you get into it, it just takes over your life. That's all I talk about now.
There are a few things in life like that. This is one of them. It gets under your skin. There's no getting rid of it. I mean, it becomes a lifelong, challenge and curse and all those things all at the same time. That's for sure.
And my brother is just getting into it now, who lives out in Hawaii, and now I'm very jealous because he can do it year round. It's a little bit harder out here. A little bit harder.
It is a little harder in Denver to play year round. That is true. Same thing in St. Louis. It's like 8-month season, and then it kind of comes and goes. That's for sure. All right, let's talk about your personal goals. What are some of the things that you want to achieve personally and maybe in this role?
Man, really putting me on the spot, right? I mean, I think my personal goal, and this is going to sound very cheesy, is time, right? And I think that there's so many different things that go into that, right? From a monetary perspective, but I think that time is realistically, everything is a function of time, in my opinion. And the more time and freedom that you, myself, our team has to to do whatever it is they'd like to do outside of work is what's most important to me. Now, in order to get to that point, right, the business has to be functioning and being able to create things on its own. But that is really my personal goal. And part of the reason that my wife and I moved out here to Denver and is to be able to go out and explore and experience new things. So
I know you guys are camping like every weekend. You guys are out doing trips. I mean, I'm with you, man. I love it. It's inspiring to me to do the same thing. But having that freedom to go and do that, it takes time and money. It takes both those things, right?
Exactly. So I think that lends into not only my personal goals, but also the goals for the business, right? It is to be able to get it to a point where it's, again, you and I have talked about this. Hey, take 3 weeks off, go hang out with your family, be with your family, go travel, do whatever it is. Everything here will be fine. And I think that that's a very realistic goal for us to have.
Yeah, it's exciting. I was talking to somebody about this recently about just what money can do for you. It's not so much that you love money, it's what money can do for you. It's the options you get, right? The options to take some time off, to go camping, to buy an RV, which is what I want to do, to buy a piece of land and start building something that you're interested in, whatever it might be, buy a rental property, all the things that many of us on our team have talked about, things that we want to do. Like, you have to have money to be able to not only do those things, but, to buy them, but also to enjoy them. And money just gives you options. So it's like, how can we move in that direction to give ourselves options? And the only way to do that is to provide enough value in the marketplace. The market pays you what you're worth. So the whole point is like, let's go create as much value as we can for our customers, and then try to hit these goals that we have, and one of those goals is we're trying to get to $1 million in revenue next year, which for some people listening to this podcast, that might seem like chump change, and it is for some people. I get it. But for us, that's a really good goal. Team of 4 working hard. We get to that. It's going to allow us to do some things, reinvest in the business, and have opportunities both personally and as a team to to do some fun things. I'm excited about having you guys into St. Louis for Christmas, and you need money for us to go and do that, right? For us to buy the Blues tickets and to do these types of things. So it's exciting to provide value in the marketplace, and then to see us get to kind of enjoy the fruits of our labor, which is pretty cool.
Exactly. So it's the money and monetary side of things is always important, but it's just to get you to other places, in my opinion. Some people are like, I want to make $500,000 a year, and that's the end of the goal. But I'm trying to look past that a little bit more.
Yeah, I want the experiences. I want the experiences more than anything. But you need money and time for the experiences to work. I mean, you want to break 90. You already broke 100 playing golf, so now the next goal is to break 90. That's going to take some time, right? It's
going to take a lot of time and a lot of money. Golf is not, of course, the 2 sports that I love is snowboarding and then golf, and it's like the 2 most expensive things that you can get into.
Let me give you a number that you're not going to be happy about. All right, the average golfer. So this is it. The average golfer spends $3,000 a year on golf. Just on golf. Ugh. That's the average. So the ones that are even more into it more than others, like you're kind of getting into it, might be more than that.
Like that's not fun. And then again, snowboarding, we just bought our season passes, and those are about $1,000 too. And that's just for admission stuff, not including like traveling to these places.
Where did you buy passes? Is it one spot, or is it a pass to several different spots?
Several different spots. So we got an Icon Pass, which is about 7 different mountains here local to Colorado, and then actually mountains throughout the world too. So it allows you to travel to different places, which is awesome. But snowboarding and skiing is so expensive, where a day pass nowadays at some of these places is like $175. Right. So realistically, if you're going 6 times, it's worth to get an annual pass. But we're trying to go as many places
at this point. So you're not renting. You're just
you
just have to drive there now and go. But that's like a pretty good deal for $1,000 each.
Oh, 100%. I think the last year, I think I probably went up 20 to 22 times. So if you were doing day passes,
how many days is that? Is that 40 days? You go 2 days at a time? Is it a weekend?
Sorry. I'm talking about days on the mountain. So 22 days about.
It's still worth it. Still worth it.
Very much so. Very much
down to $50 a day. So pretty good stuff. That's awesome. Yeah. That's something, so this is it. I'm going to teach you how to break 90 in golf. You're going to teach me how to snowboard, because I've never snowboarded before. I wasn't a skateboarder. I've skied before. I tried to snowboard when I was about 28, 29. I had some high school seniors in our youth group. We went skiing, and they're like, oh, you can get this. You're an athlete. You can do it. They put me on the snowboard. They didn't teach me a thing. They just went down the hill. All right. I clipped my front edge so many times and landed on my ribs with my arms. Thought I broke them. May have. I don't know. It hurt so bad. After about an hour, I'm like, okay, if you're not going to teach me anything, I got to go back to skis, or else I'm going to be miserable. So I never learned, but I've always thought it looks really fun and something I'd like to figure out. So I'm going to need somebody to Teach me how to do that.
I got you. And I was going to say, that's another goal of mine is actually to learn how to ski this year. So we can be in the same boat where you're learning to snowboard, I'm learning to ski, and then we're both falling together at least.
I'm feeling a little January Colorado family trip. We may have to make that happen and get out there. That could be really fun. Maybe get an Airbnb up in the mountains. Come on.
Oh, yeah. That sounds perfect. Nice little fire outside, cabin, hot tub. Oh, yeah. It's great.
Book it. Let's go. We're going to do it. All right. That's going to be fun. So everybody look for pictures on that in January. We're going to have a good time with that. All right. We got to pause because we got to play a game. This one's going to go long. We don't care. This is going to go longer than normal. And we'll just see if people like it. We're going to play a game. And this game is called What Is That? All right, this is our Halloween edition of What Is That? Here's how the game works. We're going to put up a blurred image up on the screen. It's a blurred image of a horror movie scene poster. All right. And we got to try to decide, you and me, what movie it is. Now, you're probably going to get this more than me because I'm not a scary movie guy. I'm probably not going to help at all on this, but we'll see. All right. What's the first one we got here? Let's go ahead and see this one. Oh, my word. What is that?
That's got to be either I think it's Halloween. I think it's Halloween. Right,
Okay,
that's the infamous her in the shower scene when he's standing out there with the.
Okay.
Or
so
is that
getting a little more?
Or
we're getting a little more detail now.
For Scream.
Ooh, I did see Scream, but okay,
that might be Scream now that I'm seeing her face. That's Scream.
Oh, that 100%. Is Drew Barrymore. Okay, that is Scream.
Scream.
Yep, we got it. Okay, it just took a little while. Yep, there we go. That's Scream. Okay, all right. So we're 1 for 1. You know what we should do on this? We should give points based on how quickly we get it. So if we get it on the first one, we should get 3 points. If it takes 2 shots, we get 2 points. If it takes 3, we get 1. So on that one, we get 1 point. We'll keep track of this. So we're up to 1 point, everybody. 1 point. Okay, all right. Let's go to the next one. We're at 1 point. Here we go.
Jaws. That's done. First. Easy.
That's Jaws?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
I shot in the dark.
Okay, so if we got it, that's it. There it is. Look at this. Look at that. That's a 3-pointer, baby.
Yeah.
That's a 3-pointer. So we're up to 4 points now. Well done. Nice job. That's impressive. Okay. All right.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Let's go.
Chainsaw Massacre. Okay. Well, let's just go faster if we think this is right. Let's just keep.
Do you have any input?
No, I have no input whatsoever. I don't watch scary movies.
I think that's got to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay. Well, let's see. If we get it, we get 3 points. If you don't get it right, we get 0. Let's see.
Oh man, it's The Conjuring.
The Conjuring. Okay, so we're gonna get 1 point out of this if you're right. Let's see. What's the answer?
I love that
answer
movie
is
too.
The Conjuring. I haven't even heard of these movies. Never even heard of that.
This is literally in my top 3 favorite scary movies of all time.
Never
I'm a
heard
disappointed I didn't get that one.
Not once. Haven't heard of it once. First time today learning about that. Okay, so we're up to 5 points. We got 1, 3, 1. 5 points. Here we go.
You know this one.
This one looks okay. Is that the little doll?
No. Well, okay. Maybe. I don't think so.
Is that Chucky?
I was going to say The Ring.
Okay, I don't know. I literally have no idea. I don't know why you're asking me for help on this.
I mean, I still think it's The Ring. Maybe it's not. I think because this is scenes from the movie. It's not always the cover.
Let's see one more. Well, these are supposed to be posters and/or scenes, I guess. Horror movie scene or poster. You're right. It was one or the other. Okay, so what is it?
It's The Ring.
The Ring. Okay, so is that a 2?
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
Oh no,
dude, you blew it. That's 0. We got nothing for that one. God, Coleman, I was counting on you.
I was counting on you too.
We're stuck at 5 points here so far. Okay, let's go to the next one. What do we got? What is that? I don't even know what that is. That looks like it's a dirty mop with a. I don't know what is it?
It's the fluff of the clown costume. Oh yeah. Look at the white hand, the little white chin.
Okay. Okay. So it's it. Is that what you're saying? It.
Final answer. $1 million.
There it is. Okay. So that's a 3-pointer. We're up to 8, everybody. 8 points. I wonder if we can get to 10 points here. Do we have any more? Oh, of course we do. Here we go. Okay. This is a cabin with a window. I have no idea.
Cabin in the Woods sounds pretty good.
Looks like a nice Ross, painting.
Man.
Is Cabin in the Woods? Is that a?
That is a scary movie.
We got it. Cabin in the Woods. That's a 3-pointer. You got it on the first one. I love it. That's 11 points. We did it. We got over 10. Congratulations. Well
I
done.
would say
That might be the best we've done so far in that particular
it was
game.
pretty
And that
good.
is
I'm glad that there was a couple that Morgan was probably backstage shaking her head like, "How did you not get that?" Because again, we're the horror buffs of this. But
horror edition. That's right.
I'll take 11 points. That's pretty good.
We'll take it. We'll take it. That's right. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. All right. Last thing is we got a random question. We always like to do this on the show. You know that. So this is a random question today. Haven't seen it yet. Could be good. Could be funny. Could be serious. I don't know. Could be bad. Let's see. Random question of the day today is, if you could be any kitchen appliance, which one would you be and why? Okay. So we're not talking about like stove, oven, refrigerator, dishwasher. We're talking about, or no,
I
I
mean,
guess we
that's
are
an
talking about
appliance, I
that.
would say.
That is a
That would
kitchen
count.
appliance. Okay. So we're not talking about like, I guess it could be a microwave. It could be a blender. It could be skillet. This is interesting. Okay. Which one would you be?
I mean, I'm going a microwave 10 out of 10 times, right? The most versatile appliance that I would argue you almost use every single day. That's got
that is a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. So I'm going to go with blender, and it's a total selfish reason because I think the chocolate shakes is the best way to end a day, and that's the best way to make it. A little vanilla ice cream, milk, and then chocolate syrup after you've gotten the initial mix. The initial mix is a little chunky. Then you open up the little hole in the lid and you pour in the chocolate syrup, and it loosens it up just enough, and it mixes the chocolate. It's delectable.
See,
so I'm going to go blender.
Blender did cross my mind as well, but it's more for smoothies for me. I'm not a big sweets guy. So
Smoothies is good too.
Yeah.
Smoothies is good too. It's
but that did cross
versatile.
my mind.
You know, you can blend a few things up. You can actually, I know this from fact, you can blend up a Happy Meal in there and drink it if you want. So cheeseburger, fries, and a beverage. Yeah, it'll blend up. Oh yeah.
Side note, spooky season. Watch the opening scene of End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger. That what you just said reminded me of that opening scene, and it's kind of gross. But you can blend anything.
It's not a Happy Meal. It's probably a person, and I don't want to watch it.
Oh no! It's him hung over with like actual edible food, but it's everything but the
just
kitchen
throwing
stand.
stuff in. That's right. No, I know that because when I was a youth pastor, I made kids drink this kind of stuff. You know, I'd say, hey, we're gonna have a competition. The winner gets a gift card to this store, whatever. I need 2 guys up here, and then they'd have to see who could drink a Happy Meal completely the fastest. So
did you?
Yeah. No, I just made these people do it.
I'm very curious because I'm assuming it tastes different too. If it's blended,
I'm sure it's got to taste different. Yeah, I'm sure it does because you don't get the specific things, you know, each time. You don't get like the ketchup and the mustard at one time. You get ketchup and mustard with fries, with a Diet Coke, sometimes even a shake mixed in. You never know. So it's, yeah, the
But I mean, I do like putting fries on the burger too with some ketchup on there. But yeah, the Coke.
And I do like fries dipped in shakes. That's actually good. Fries and shake is actually a pretty good thing. It's the salt and sweet combination at the same time.
Man.
But I did that. So yeah, that's pretty gross. All right. So I'm a blender. You're a microwave. That's great. Whatever. Who knows? That's a pretty good question today. Pretty good question overall, which is good. All right, my friend. Well, this has been really fun. I've enjoyed getting a chance to chat with you and let everybody know about you being a part of our team now, which is very exciting.
So stoked.
I don't even know how to end this one. I don't even know what we should talk about. What else do you want to talk about?
We don't need to talk about a whole lot more. I'll see you on another meeting probably in 15 minutes or so. Yeah.
That's right. Let's get to work. Let's go make it happen. Well, man, appreciate you being on the show. Appreciate you being on the team, man. I love what you're doing for our team. And you're just fun to hang out with, man. It's good to have friends on the team. I didn't realize how valuable it was to have like people that I know and that I've become friends with. Because like Morgan, I've known Morgan since she was 8. She's not going to, want me to talk about this. And I'm not going to tell any stories right now. But I've known her since she was 8, right? So it's like, it's easy to know her. Natalia's fit in really well. I've got to know her pretty well. It's fun to have friends on the team and to have a good time. And it shows, man. So absolutely loving it. Glad you're part of the team. Thanks for being on the show, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. And thanks for welcoming me to the squad too. I'm stoked.
All right. Get out of here. We'll see you in a little bit. All right, everybody. Make sure you come back next week for another episode of Standing Out. We're throwing these on YouTube now, and you can always download it wherever you get your audio podcast. So make sure you subscribe so you get every episode of Standing Out, a podcast about sales, marketing, and leadership powered by our friends over at SBI Logistics. Again, don't forget to look for us out there on the road at Technovations, at Women in Trucking. And again, check out our friends over at Wreaths Across America by visiting wreathsacrossamerica.org and get involved December 16th, laying wreaths on the tombstones of military veterans. It's an incredible event. You'll enjoy it. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys real soon. See you later.